Hello everyone, my name is Evan Horosco, and for my cultural research project, I decided to analyze the LGBT culture through uh, through film, and the film I chose for this one was Brokeback Mountain, which details the life of Jack Twist and Ennis Del Mar and their life spent together over the many decades and their many interactions with one another. And the central theme that I'd like to highlight here about this movie is, the struggles that they go through and coming to terms with their own sexuality. And, based on those struggles and, historical context, diving right into the paper, we can see and determine how these social and cultural identities, take place in the film. So, starting off with just general historical context on the place, you can assume that Jack and Ennis are poor, uneducated. These are guys just trying to scrape by. And because of Wyoming's conservative nature, I would have to assume that they're probably God-fearing Christians or are based around Christian beliefs, which was something that Bosher and Pinto pointed to in their article as well, which talked about the general historical context behind the movie Brokeback Mountain. And other concepts from the textbooks were employed here as well, such as sexual identity and gender identity. With sexual identity, obviously they're both gay males, and coming to terms with that is the main, as I said, the main central theme to this story, as well as their gender identity, which each character has different contrasting things, which you'll see a lot in this movie. As Jack has much more feminine traits. He's much more touching, playful, while Ennis is the stoic, quiet guy, and you're like traditional masculine cowboy, which Alderson kind of pointed to when talking about the gay male identity in his article as well. Using these identities as well, we can clarify other things using it, such as communication styles, why they chose to use the language that they did, as well as certain nonverbal and spatial codes as well. So in terms of including more concepts from the textbook, Jack had more of a discussion style, which explains his communication style, as well as Ennis, who happened to have a more accommodating style. And the difference between that is Jack's direct style was much more, it's direct, it's to the point, he's trying to solve the problem in front of him head on. Whereas Ennis has more of an accommodating style, it's indirect, he's beating around the bush, he comes off as afraid to address this, problem, which is, his homosexuality. And, other things that play an important role, like certain nonverbal spatial codes, such as, touch and tone for Jack. Because, the way he comes across and the way he plays around and, uses that sense of touch for intimacy and initiative in pushing past that boundary from friendship to, lovers. And in Ennis's case, he uses silence, which is, very interesting, as it's a very ambiguous and elastic part of the story that could be displayed to show a wide range of emotions, which Rose and Urshel pointed to in their article as well when talking about, the complex love story that takes place within Brokeback Mountain. And, besides these issues as well, in these areas, other social and cultural issues seem to hinder Jack and Ennis as well, and their relationship moving forward. Certain things like, power distance between them and, for example, the ranch director. Whereas, these guys are poor, uneducated, they're scrapping by, they can, barely pay to keep themselves alive, along with their families. And, it makes it very hard for them to climb up that socioeconomic ladder, which, keeps them down and oppressed in a place where they can't grow or move anywhere positively. as well as certain political beliefs within the state of Wyoming, such as it's a conservative place, so and violence against homosexuality was rampant, except it was acceptable. So there was a lot of fear and shame that Jack and Ennis seemed to carry around with them in terms of how they dealt with coming to terms with their homosexuality. Through this film as well, I think we could learn how to communicate better with these different cultures as well, and the different identities we come across today. Simple things, just like keeping an open mind for people to be accepting of all these different genders, identities, cultures that are so interesting and unique, as well as providing support to these people and know that we care about them and what they have to offer to the world. And the most important one is obviously put in effort. We need to support people in the LGBTQ a lot more than we probably are now. And using films and media like this is a great way to educate the people around us and even around the world, and to become more generally accepting of these different cultures and identities. And I think that's a great way to move forward and move past these walls we've set up between us. And I think that way we can create a better, more integrated world together. Thank you.